Hi everyone, this is Abby Forcia of Realize Learning, and this video is to help parents and educators get kids started on a research project. So a lot of times kids get stuck because they maybe don't know what they want to learn about or don't really know where to start. So one of the very first things I usually do is I have the child make a list of 3 topics that they're interested in, and it can be really anything. So it could even be, if you have a child who loves video games, it could be learning about how video games are made. It could be anything really. So I have them make a list of 3, and then we go back and we look over the list, and I have them select their favorite one, or the one that is most exciting for them. So then once we have our topic, we move forward onto what's called a KWL chart. Some of you may be familiar with this. It's used by a lot of teachers. It's a really popular way to get started, and it looks a little bit like this. So it's a trifold. And so we have K here, W here, and L here. And what those stand for is know, want to know, and learned. So as you can see, this one is filled out except for the L because this child hasn't finished their project, so they don't have all of what they've learned written down. So you start with the K, and you just have the child list anything they know about the topic, anything they think they know. So it's really an empowering activity because it gives them an opportunity to sort of rack their brain and think about what they may already know about the topic, and it helps them to feel confident about starting their research project. So this child actually selected the topic of ancient Egypt. And so he had this whole side and this side filled up with things that he believed he knew. And even if those things may be inaccurate, or if you hear your child list something and you think to yourself, oh, that's not right, that's okay. Just have them put it down because they'll figure that out in the learning process. And then the W is I try to have the students aim for at least 15 things that they want to know. So it's essentially a list of questions. So this is what it looks like. And so then once you're ready to get started, you really just pick the question on the want to know column that they're most excited about. So one example would be, as far as ancient Egypt, the student knew that or had seen a human with a jackal's head and was curious about what that was. So he said, what's the thing with the wolf or jackal face? So that's what we started with. So if you notice, I put a yellow mark next to it. And this is one thing I do to help kids organize themselves because they're going to be gathering so much information and doing so much reading. It's good to categorize, and color coding is a great way to do it. So I assigned this color yellow here. And so when we select our text, and you want to make sure you're using credible sources, and I had posted a link a few posts back about how to help your child learn about credible sources. But when we find our information by using nonfiction text features like our table of contents, and we locate where we're going to find the answer to our question, once we get there, if we find the information we're looking for, which we did, so we have these various Egyptian gods, one of them has the jackal head right here, I have the child put a tab on it coordinating the color of the tab to the question that we had originally asked. So this way they are keeping track of the sources they're using, and they're using color coding to know which answers go with which questions. And so if they don't want to read the full piece of information right then and there, they can just start tabbing anything that they find in their sources that addresses that question, and then they can go back later and do a more thorough reading. So I hope that helps, and I hope that helps people get started on some cool research projects with your kids. Okay, have a great day.